Chapter 12:20. Alex responded and said, "Okay, but this staircase is a bit steep. Be careful when you descend." Faria shyly stretched out her soft hand and handed it to Alex, and said softly, "Master Anderson, can you help me? Otherwise, I'm afraid I might fall." In fact, she was not afraid of falling, but wanted to take this opportunity to get closer and closer to Alex. Alex saw that this stone step was indeed very long and quite steep, extending from the bank to the river beach. Faria, a girl, would really slip and fall. The consequences would be disastrous. So he took Faria's soft hand, led her to walk carefully, and walked down the stone steps. At this time, the river beach was also empty, and occasionally a few ships with lights on the river passed by. The rumbling diesel engine made a loud noise, but it didn't feel very noisy on this empty river surface. After arriving on the river beach, Alex let go of Faria's hand, facing the cold wind on the surface of the river, smiling and saying, "This place is really nice." Faria smiled slightly, stroked the blue silk between her ears, and said, "When I was young, I liked coming here the most. Back then, my father was busy with work, so my mother brought me here every day." As she said, she sighed a little sadly, and said, "At that time, my mother would drive me with me, park the car in the same place, and then walk down the same stone steps, just like you just now, so cautiously take my hand." Alex nodded lightly. "When I grew up in an orphanage, I often thought of my parents. When I was young, I was not as strong as now. Whenever I think of them, I would hide under the covers or cry in the corner. But after a long time, I gradually got used to it." The hard life at the beginning made him understand a lot of precious truths. For example, the deceased is dead, such as the sad things that happened in the past, let it pass quietly. At this time, Faria sighed, "I went to my parents to sweep the grave this morning. I couldn't believe it. They have been away for more than 10 years. Everything from my childhood is still vivid in my eyes. There's an illusion that I feel like they are still alive when I am 8 or 9 years old." Alex laughed at himself and sighed softly, "You can still go to sweep the graves of your parents. I don't know where my parents are buried now." "Huh?" Faria asked in surprise. "Can't you find it? Or what happened back then?" Alex smiled bitterly. "When my parents passed away, I was just 8 years old. At that time, I couldn't take care of myself. I didn't even know where to solve my full meal. I simply didn't have the ability to handle their funeral affairs. Time has not been found." After speaking, Alex said again, "However, their ashes may have been taken back by the grandfather's family, but I am not sure about the details." Faria couldn't help asking him, "Master Anderson, do you still have relatives in this world?" Alex nodded, "Yes, but I am not ready to see them yet." Faria nodded lightly, blinked her beautiful eyelashes, and said, "Master Anderson, let's take a walk along the river." "Okay," Alex readily agreed, and walked side by side along the river with Faria. Faria smiled and said, "By the way, Master Anderson, do you remember the first time we met?" Alex smiled and said, "Of course, in the antique store, my father-in-law accidentally broke one of your antique vases." Faria nodded and said, "At that time, I was shocked by the way you repaired the vase. I thought, how could a young man master the lost repair skills? This person is too good. However, I never dreamed of it at that time. That's actually just the tip of the iceberg, Master Anderson, and I didn't expect that you would help me so much."